Chosen one, listen to me right now. Stop everything for a moment and lean in. This is not random content stumbling into your feed. This is an appointed interruption. You have been asking about money, about numbers, about bills, about the way the month keeps outrunning your income. And heaven is answering, but not in the language you were expecting. You do not have a money crisis. You are in a timing window, and I need you to call it what it is, so you will treat it with the reverence it requires. Wherever you are, soften your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Place your feet flat and feel the ground beneath you. Take one slow breath. Slow, not deep. Let your nervous system stop sprinting so your spirit can recognize. Hear me. You are inside a 72-hour Kairos window. It is not sitting on the calendar. It is moving around you as a living atmosphere. The window is moving as we speak. What you decide in this short span will quietly determine the shape of your next season. And if you let it, these 3 days will sketch the outline of your next 7 years. I will not be vague with you. You do not have time for vague. I am going to be precise because heaven has been precise with you. You are not broke because you are cursed. You are delayed because you have treated Kairos like Chronos, counting minutes and dollars and deadlines, while heaven has been opening a window that only responds to recognition and ordered movement. Chronos is the clock that nags you. Kairos is the appointment that summons you. You have been trying to fix a Kairos problem with Chronos tools, and that is why effort has felt exhausting and results have felt stingy. Recognition is your first act of obedience. Chosen one, breathe again, slow. The Father has marked these 3 days to move you through a hallway with 3 doors, not 2, not all at once, 3, and in order. Door 1 is release, because I will not pour fresh provision into a vessel that is still leaking through old attachments. Door 2 is instruction, because provision does not chase panic, it follows assignment. Door 3 is receipt, because when you honor what I send without shame, you stop leaking and you start building. Miss door 1 and the sequence collapses. Try to grab door 3 first and you will end up holding what you cannot keep. There is mercy in this order. There is protection in this order. I can feel your pulse reading this. I can hear your mind calculating. You want to ask, but what about the bill due Friday? What about the client who ghosted? What about the number in my account right now? Stay with me. That is Chronos demanding a theatrical rescue. I am offering you Kairos, which is quieter and truer, and when you step into it, the numbers have to respond because order has returned. Do not despise the quiet way help arrives. Recognize the window, speak it out of your own mouth, even if it is a whisper where you are. I am inside the window, I see it. I will move in order. I am not here to scare you, I am here to wake you. There is urgency, yes, but it is the urgency of a midwife, not a siren. The labor has already begun in you. Over the last days you have felt it, small disruptions, unusual clarity, a sudden distaste for what once numbed you. You wondered if you were losing control. You are not losing it. You are being aligned. These are not punishments. These are not signs of failure. They are the gentle alarms of a God who loves you too much to let you miss a door you have been praying for. In other words, hear my authority and my kindness together. I will walk you through this one step at a time. I will not ask you to leap across all 3 thresholds at once. I am going to be specific about what to release, how to listen when instruction comes, and how to collect without apology when the receipt arrives. But first, I need your agreement to treat the next 72 hours as set apart. This is not performance, this is recognition. Clear a little room in your mind. Lower the background noise. Do not narrate your fear to yourself all day. I am here. You are not late. You are in the window now. Look at me. The temptation in a money ache is to work louder, to fill the air with scrambling, to promise yourself You will sleep when the numbers change, but Kairos does not reward frenzy. It rewards ordered surrender. That is why I am beginning with your breath. That is why I am naming the hallway. That is why I am telling you openly that if you rush to the third door, if you try to just make something happen, you will create a moment you cannot sustain. I want you to have something you can keep. I want you to steward, not survive. So here is the frame I am handing you. 3 days, 3 doors, 1 sequence. You will feel the pull to make this complicated. Resist it. You will feel the shame that says, if I were stronger, I wouldn't need this. Reject it. You will feel the fear that says, what if I miss it? Look back at me. You are already inside it. Missing it now would only mean refusing to call it what it is. We are not going to do that. We are going to acknowledge it. We are going to order it, and we are going to walk it. Take another slow breath. Slow, not deep. Feel how the room shifts when you stop sprinting. Heaven is not far. The window is not future tense. It is on you. Between now and the end of these 72 hours, I will ask for simple obediences that look too small to matter and feel too tender to postpone. Each one is a key. Each one opens the next door. And as you move, the shape of your financial life will begin to change. Not because you begged harder, but because you finally moved at heaven's speed. Stay with me. I am going to be precise with you because you do not have time for vague messages. In a moment, I will show you the 2 clocks and why one of them is about to pay you back. For now, let your spirit say yes to the frame. Recognition is not passive. Recognition is obedience. Say it to me. I recognize the window. I agree with the order. I will walk through the first door when you open it. And as you say it, notice how the panic loosens its grip. That loosening is not indifference. It is alignment. It is the first sign that the window is real. Chosen one, take another slow breath. Slow, not deep. I promised you precision, and precision begins with the 2 clocks. There are 2 words for time in the language of the New Testament, chronos and kairos. Chronos is the clock you wear on your wrist and the calendar pinned to your wall. It measures minutes and months. It is steady, additive, and it can be wasted. Kairos is different. Kairos is an appointment heaven sets with you. It is not merely when, it is why now. It is the ripeness of a moment when conditions inside and around you converge so that what could take years in Chronos can begin to happen in hours. You cannot manufacture Kairos. You cannot replace it if you ignore it. The doors open and close on heaven's schedule, not your mood, not your panic. And you, chosen one, are inside a Kairos window. Listen to me. Chronos will tell you to hustle harder and sleep less, as if more noise could bribe a clock to pity you. Kairos is not moved by frenzy. Kairos responds to recognition and ordered movement. The very pressure you feel in your chest right now is not doom. It is the nearness of a threshold. It is a contraction, not a crisis. Your body is trying to alert you that the air has changed, that something appointed is nearby, and you will need clarity, not scrambling, to cross it. I need you to hear this with your whole self. God does not always increase effort. Sometimes He increases timing. In Chronos, you stack bricks and count them and resent how slow the wall rises. In Kairos, a gate swings, and suddenly there is an opening that swallows distance. In Chronos, you cold call 100 times and one person answers, and you think that is normal. In Kairos, the call you stopped expecting returns to you. The invoice long ignored clears. The meeting you could not secure is offered without begging. It is not magic. It is ordered time, a divine alignment where the right yes meets the right you in the right order. This is why your old strategies have tired you out. You have been trying to beat Chronos into generosity when Kairos is already offering you acceleration. I am not telling you to abandon diligence. I am telling you that diligence without recognition becomes toil. Diligence with recognition becomes harvest. When I say one of these clocks is about to pay you back, I mean that Kairos repays what Chronos appeared to steal. Missed chances, delayed returns, quiet no's that made you doubt yourself. Kairos bundles outcomes. It compresses waiting. It orchestrates intersections you could not plan. The repayment does not arrive because you tried harder in the same way. It arrives because you moved in order when the window opened. Stay with me. Take one slow breath. Slow, not deep. You need to feel how this lands in your body, the difference between grasping and receiving. Panic shouts, "Do something," and then throws you at door 3 to force a deposit you cannot keep. Recognition whispers, "Move in order," and takes you first to door 1 to seal the leaks you have been tolerating. This is mercy. Heaven opens doors in order because provision is a person before it is a payment. Character first, calling next, then cash that does not rot you from the inside. If you feel heaven's restraint on your hand this hour, it is not punishment, it is protection. The cost of ignoring order is not God being cruel. It is the natural consequence of bypassing the delivery system. If you rip a package from the belt before it is sealed, you will spill it. If you demand rain before you mend the roof, you will flood your own house. The window is not withholding, it is waiting for you to line up. I am going to speak to your mind for a moment, because you have been trying to manage fear with math. Chronos math says, there are 30 days in a month and I have this many invoices, so I must chase more hours. Kairos math says, there are 3 days in this window, and if I move through 3 doors in sequence, heaven multiplies what my hours could never. Chronos multiplies anxiety, Kairos multiplies alignment, and alignment attracts what hysteria repels. Even your clients can sense the difference. Even the gatekeepers can feel when you enter in order. They do not know how to name it. They just recognize that favor has a sound. Let me make this tangible. Some of you will find that the place you tried to push for months suddenly asks for your calendar. Some of you will watch a backlog clear in what looks like a single email thread. Some of you will discover that the subscription you were about to buy miraculously extends, or the penalty you braced for is waived, or the deal you priced too low is raised without you having to argue. These are not random. These are Kairos repayments. But hear me. Those repayments arrive through the doors I am naming, in the order I am giving you. If you argue with the order, you will starve next to a table already set for you. Chosen one, breathe. Put a hand on your chest and notice the shift when you stop begging time to love you and start honoring the time that is loving you already. The doorway is not awarded to the loudest panic. It is opened to the clearest recognition. This is why I will keep asking you to slow your breath and to obey in small ways. Small obediences are not busy work. They are alignment acts that tune you to the frequency Kairos answers. Do not call it procrastination when heaven says, wait here till door 1 locks behind you. Do not call it laziness when heaven silences you long enough to hear door 2's instruction. The sequence is not arbitrary, it is architecture. I can feel your skepticism trying to bargain, but what if I just send the pitch now and apologize later? What if I just swipe the card and fix the leak next month? Hear me as a father and as a coach. If you take what I have not yet told you to take, you will owe a tax you do not see coming. It will show up as fog, as confusion, as regret. It will not be punishment from me. It will be the natural expense of ignoring order when order is the delivery system. Mercy is me telling you this now so you do not pay it. So let your spirit agree with me in simple words. I choose recognition over panic. I choose order over hurry. I will not make Chronos my master when Kairos has come to my door. And as you say it, feel your shoulders drop. That is not passivity. That is poise. That is what it feels like to be ready to receive what has already been sent toward you. Stay with me. Because I love you, I will not ask you to believe this on sentiment alone. Heaven leaves fingerprints. In a moment, I will show you 5 of them, signs in your behavior, in your body, in your heart, in your patterns, in your dreams, that confirm you are inside the window you are sensing. I am going to be precise with you because you do not have time for vague messages. Take one last slow breath, slow, not deep, and prepare to recognize what has already been placed in your hands. Kairos is here. Now we will learn to see it. Chosen one, stay with me. Take one slow breath, slow, not deep. I told you heaven leaves fingerprints, and I am going to be precise because you do not have time to argue with your own clarity. These signs are not random quirks. They are the envelope arriving before the letter. The letter is the instruction and the provision that follow in order. The envelope is how heaven proves you are not imagining it, so when the doors open, you will move. 5 fingerprints in your behavior, in your body, in your heart, in your patterns, and in your dreams. First, behavior. You have been stepping back from rooms you used to rush into, not ghosting, not sulking, just quietly excusing yourself from cycles that keep you small. Some of you found your own fingers deleting apps you scroll when you are anxious. Some of you are reorganizing drawers and desktops that no one else will ever see, throwing away stacks of someday papers, returning borrowed things you kept too long. Some of you unsubscribed from constant sale emails and muted the friend whose emergencies keep becoming your assignments. You thought, am I being dramatic? No, not instability, preparation. Your hands are making space your mind has not yet named. You feel the urge to purge, bags to the door, calendar blocks cleared, the cart you almost checked out, abandoned on purpose. This is not avoidance, this is you refusing to feed the leaks. Door 1 is about to seal. You are not losing your edge. You are sharpening it by removing the noise that blunted you. Heaven does not pour into clutter. Your behavior has been quietly renovating a hallway for the 3 doors. Second, your body. The last few nights, your sleep has shifted. You are waking at specific times, 3 o'clock, 4:15, 4:44. And it is not the frantic wakefulness of dread. It is a precise stirring. You are not being punished with insomnia. You are being tuned to rhythm. Some of you feel waves of fatigue roll through the middle of the day for no obvious reason. And then, an hour later, you are flooded with unusual clarity, as if a fog machine just turned off. Some of you felt a tight band across your chest that eases the moment you pray, write what you hear, or speak the hard sentence you have been avoiding. Some of you have watched your appetite change. Caffeine is suddenly too loud. Sugar feels like sand. Your body is asking for water, for clean foods, for simple warmth. You wondered, am I getting sick? No, not sickness, recalibration. Your nervous system is stepping down from scarcity frequency, so recognition can rise. Even the small sigh you just released while reading, notice it. That is your body saying yes to order. It is evidence, not an accident. Third, your heart. You have been weeping in small, surprising places. A commercial for something you do not need. A stranger's kindness at a checkout line. An old photo you thought you would never look at again. Grief has been visiting, not the kind that buries you, the kind that announces you have outgrown a version of life you were loyal to. You are grieving futures you were carrying for other people. You are feeling a tenderness you thought you lost. And with it, an old fear of being seen is resurfacing. If I rise, will they hate me? If I receive, will they say I changed? Hear me. Not weakness, sensitivity returning. Your heart is thawing so it can recognize instruction when it comes. Cynicism kept you safe in survival. It cannot guide you in abundance. This is why shallow conversations feel like sand in your mouth. This is why you cannot endure small manipulations you use to shrug off. Honor that. You are not being petty. You are protecting what I am rebuilding. You are allowed to be careful with the atmosphere that grows your next. Fourth, patterns. Heaven has been echoing itself to train your seeing. You keep encountering the same numbers, 3s and 7s, 111, 333, 444, not as superstition, but as breadcrumbs reminding you that sequence is the language of this window. You have heard the same phrase from 3 unrelated mouths in 2 days. The same city keeps coming up in conversation. A name repeats. A scripture follows you. Esther, Jonah, Joseph, on a billboard, a sermon clip, a stray post. The algorithm is not the only thing at work. Alignment is. Doors, keys, contracts, hallways. These images stalk you. You open a drawer and find an old key to a place you do not live in anymore, and your spirit knows what I am saying. You meet a person who carries the same birthday as the one who mentored you, and something settles. Not coincidence. Choreography. Patterns are heaven clearing its throat. They are the envelope's seal. You do not need to turn them into formulas. You only need to acknowledge that you are being led and that leading has a sound. Fifth, dreams. Some of you have been walking the same corridors at night. Long hallways with many doors, an elevator that seems to skip floors and then opens to a level you did not know existed. You have dreamed of water, crossing it, standing near it, watching it rise but not drown you. You have visited houses you once lived in and found new rooms hidden behind closets. Or you have returned to a school you left years ago to discover you are not late this time. The exam is actually tomorrow and you are early. Some of you dreamed you were barefoot in a public place and then looked down to see your feet were steady, clean, unfearful. Some of you spoke with old companions and said the hard sentence you never said in waking life, and the conversation ended peacefully. Some of you opened a wallet and found a folded paper that turned out to be a receipt, paid in full, stamped in red. Hear me, these are not accusations. They are rehearsals, not nightmares, briefings. Heaven is practicing you for the hallway. Do not overinterpret, simply record. Place a notebook by your bed tonight. When you wake, 3 o'clock, 4:15, 4:44, write without analyzing. Where were you? Who was with you? What were you carrying? Was there a door? Your dreams are training your feet to move when the real doors open. Chosen one, if 2 or 3 of these fingerprints found you while I was speaking, you are not imagining the window. You are inside it. You are not being dramatic. You are being addressed. The reason I am naming your behavior, your body, your heart, your patterns, your dreams, is so that you will stop waiting for thunder to validate what quiet has already told you. The signs are the envelope. The letter, the assignment, the provision travels inside. When door 1 swings, you will not hesitate because recognition has already done its work. And when the hallway quiets after you obey, you will not panic because you will remember that clarity, not cash, is the first evidence. This is how you stop leaking. This is how you start building. Take 1 slow breath. Slow, not deep. Say it softly so your own ears hear your agreement. I see it. If you need the ritual, type those 3 words where you are, not as performance, as covenant. I see it. That sentence is not about me. It is about you sealing that you will not gaslight your spirit when the sequence begins to move. You are being proven, not pressured. You are being prepared, not punished. Stay with me. We are going to walk in order, release, instruction, receipt. But for now, honor the envelope. Pay attention to your behavior without shaming it. Treat your body with gentleness because it is carrying a message. Keep your heart tender though it feels risky. Notice the patterns without superstition. Write the dreams without editing. I am near, and I am not speaking in riddles. I am speaking in fingerprints. So when the handle turns on door 1, you will already be standing there, awake, ready, and clean. Chosen one, stay with me. You have the envelope in your hands. Now I am going to walk you to the hallway it belongs to. Do not sprint. Do not announce. Take one slow breath, slow, not deep, and feel the air change as we step into precision. You are in a hallway with 3 doors. They are not random. They do not swing in any order you choose. They open and they close on heaven's sequence. Door 2 assumes you have walked through door 1. Door 3 refuses to honor you if you skip door 2. This is not punishment. This is how the architecture carries weight. Look at the hallway with me. On the left, door 1, alignment and release. In the center, door 2, assignment and instruction. At the far end, door 3, resource and receipt. Each door governs a different kind of authority in you. Each door equips you to carry the next without spilling it. Most frustration in your money life did not come from lack of doors. It came from treating the hallway like a menu. You pointed at receipt and tried to order it to your table while ignoring the sequence that makes it sustainable. Heaven is not withholding. Heaven is insisting that the pipeline be connected in order so the flow does not destroy the house. I am going to make this plain. When people chase money first, they are not wrong for desiring provision. They are simply mistimed. They force door 3. They sign the client before releasing the leeching relationship that sabotages every boundary. They launch the offer before receiving instruction about cadence, pricing, timing. They take the check and then spend the next month apologizing for the fog that descends. Or they burn themselves out delivering more than they promised because shame is now driving the car. That is not abundance. That is unsustainable hustle wearing a crown it cannot afford. It looks like breakthrough for a week and feels like collapse by the second invoice. Why? Because the vessel was still leaking. Because door 2's specific guidance was never heard. And so door 3's gift had no rails to travel on. Hear me. Order is not moralism. Order is mechanics. If you turn on the faucet before the sink is connected, you flood the floor. If you wire a light without grounding the circuit, you risk a fire. If you harvest before you fence the field, you feed your enemies with your labor. I have watched you weep over opportunities that fell through. I want you to see the mercy hidden in those falls. I did not say no because I enjoy delay. I said, in order to protect you from carrying what would crack you. Some doors closed because you were unlovable. No, because you were unlined. And I love you too much to let a premature yes become your undoing. You have blamed yourself for the deals that evaporated. You have called yourself unlucky because the connection slipped, because the room did not call you back, because the momentum cooled. I am renaming those moments. Protection. I was not shaming you. I was saving you. Acceleration without alignment is a trap. It makes a hero for a moment and an angry, tired ghost by night. I prefer you whole. I prefer you able to enjoy what I send. So I held the throttle steady until door 1 could seal the places that bleed you, until door 2 could tune your ear to the assignment that fits your real grace, not your survival costume. Then, and only then, door 3 becomes a blessing you can keep without apology. Chosen one, slow breath. Your next 72 hours require calm obedience, not frantic proving. Proving shoves you against door 3 and calls it faith. Obedience walks you through door 1 even when no one claps, then waits, still and listening, until door 2 speaks specifics that seem too simple to be holy. This is why order is the difference between provision and frustration. Provision travels along obedience in sequence. Frustration travels along anxiety that will not be led. Let me show you the collapse mechanics so you never confuse them again. Skip door 1 and you try to carry new resource with old loyalties still draining your pockets. Money arrives and manipulation senses the smell of it. Suddenly there are emergencies, invoices you did not owe, favors collected, small shames weaponized to pry open your wallet. You are not cursed, you are leaking. Skip door 2 and you take money for a thing you have not been assigned to build. Your calendar fills with the wrong work. Your body protests, sleep fractures. You begin to resent the very provision you prayed for because it now feels like bondage. That is not the enemy stealing. That is you saying yes before heaven told you where your yes belongs. Doctor 3 first is always expensive. It bills you in exhaustion, confusion, and quiet self-contempt. I do not want that bill on your table anymore. So we will move in order, not as superstition, as engineering. Door 1 brings your inner borders into agreement with who you actually are now, not who you promised to be to keep the peace. It is release, it is alignment, it closes the valves that waste you. Door 2 gives you the brief, names, times, settings, phrases, the odd instruction that unlocks the real channel. It is assignment, it is instruction, it turns good ideas into anointed timing. Door 3 arrives like an answer writing a road already paved, calls returned, invoices cleared, favor finding you because you are finally findable. It is resource, it is receipt, it is clean collection without shame. Do not despise the quiet between doors. The hallway is not empty, it is calibrating you. Chronos says, hurry or you'll lose it. Kairos says, hold your poise. Alignment is escorting you. If you feel a stillness come over you after obeying door 1, do not panic. That is not a void. That is heaven adjusting your hearing to catch the instruction of door 2. And when instruction comes, it will not flatter your ego with grand gestures. It will honor your future with precise steps. You do not need to invent a miracle. You need to honor a sequence. Place your hand on your chest. Breathe slow. Say this with me, without theatrics. I choose order. I release the need to prove. I agree with the hallway. Let the shame of I should have had it by now slide off of you. You are not late. You are being sequenced. What for years felt like sporadic luck is about to become sustained provision, because the same God who opens doors is training your feet to enter them in the right order. When you honor that order, you do not just get a moment, you get a life you can steward, and provision that once mocked you by slipping away will start behaving like a loyal friend because you finally became a trustworthy house. Stay close, do not run ahead. When I say handle, you will reach for door 1 and it will turn. When I say listen, you will quiet for door 2 and instruction will arrive. When I say collect, you will step through door 3 without apology and gather what has your name on it. Between each, you will not chisel at the next door with fear. You will stand in the hallway like someone who belongs there, because you do, and heaven recognizes the ones who move in order. Chosen one, we are at door 1. Take one slow breath, slow, not deep. Feel my hand on the handle. Hear me clearly. This first door is not a project, it is a release. It is surgical and it is personal. I am not asking you to hustle. I am asking you to let go, because I will not pour into a life that is still leaking through old attachments. If you try to sprint to provision with the leaks open, you will call it favor for a week and bondage by month's end. I love you too much to let that happen again. Release means I will deal with what has been draining you, not everything, not forever, just the leaks that must close in the next 24 hours so the next door can sustain you. I will name them and I will be precise, because you do not have time for vague messages. The first leak is unnecessary conversation, explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. They do not need another paragraph. Your destiny cannot afford another hour in a debate whose outcome was predetermined by their insecurity. The second leak is guilt-driven giving, money and time sent to soothe your fear of being called selfish. That is not generosity. That is payment to an accusation. The third leak is rescuing, stepping in to solve patterns for people who refuse process. Love tells the truth and steps back. Rescue without repentance is how you mortgage your future on someone else's avoidance. The fourth leak is impulsive spending to numb, small swipes that feel like oxygen and turn into fog. You call it a little treat, but it keeps you from tasting the banquet I'm preparing. The fifth leak is staying accessible to people who disrespect your focus, answering on call to chaos because you are afraid of the name they'll call you if you stop. They already call you names in their heads. Let me call you faithful instead. So here are your prohibitions, not as punishment, as obedience tools for the first 24 hours of this window. Do not explain yourself to people committed to misunderstanding. 1 sentence is holy. 2 is leakage. Do not make financial decisions from emotional waves. If your pulse is up, the answer is later. Do not text the person you are trying to outgrow, not to get closure, not to prove you are okay. Silence is your closure. Do not say yes to last-minute emergencies that have a history of recurring every payday. Patterns are telling the truth. Believe them. Do not shop to anesthetize. Put items in a 72-hour hold list and walk away. Do not open old tabs that lead you to fantasy houses you do not plan to buy this quarter. Fantasy steals the energy precise obedience needs. Do not pick up calls from numbers you know lead to manipulation. You are not rude. You are stewarding. Now, practical actions. In the next 24 hours, we will close 4 valves. 1. Review subscriptions and auto-pays. Sit with your bank app, not as a critic, as a caretaker. Look at the last 60 days. Identify every recurring charge you have not used in 30 days or cannot immediately name without scrolling. Trials that kept renewing. Duplicate platforms, the app you forgot. Cancel them now, not next week, now. If it feels dramatic, that is because your boundary muscle is waking up. 2. List 3 financial leaks on 1 sheet of paper, only 3, the obvious ones. Name them simply: DoorDash at night, loaning money to T without a plan, sauce tools I don't open. Put that paper where you can see it. We are not doing shame. We are doing clarity. 3. Set 1 boundary in writing, a text or email with 1 sentence, no essay. I'm not available for that. I don't lend money right now. I can't be on call for this anymore. We can meet next week. Today is closed. Send it, then do not defend it. 4. Remove 1 distraction that hijacks your focus. Delete the app for 72 hours. Mute the thread that spikes your adrenaline. Move your charger out of reach at night. Seal the easy leak so your mind can quiet and hear instruction when door 2 opens. 5. Clean 1 physical space tied to money stress. The pile of unopened envelopes, the drawer where receipts go to die, the glove compartment with tickets and old bills. Do not make it a weekend project. Set a 20-minute timer and make it clean enough that your spirit doesn't flinch when you open it. Order in the outer room helps your inner room hold what I am about to send. I am also going to ask you for a spiritual act that looks like softness but functions like steel. Forgiveness without reconnection. Release without debate, blessing without access. You know the name that surfaced while I spoke. Breathe. Put their name before me. Say this exactly aloud if you can. I forgive you. I release you from my balance sheet. I bless you to find what heals you. I withdraw my role as your rescuer. I am not your source. Feel the tightness ease. That is a valve closing. This does not reopen your door. You do not need to reply to their messages, accept an apology lunch, or re-enter counseling loops to prove your forgiveness. Forgiveness is a posture. Access is a policy. Heaven led you to both. Some of you are thinking, if I stop giving there, who will I be? You will be the person you were before guilt taught you to trade your future for approval. You are not cruel. You are clear. You are not abandoning people. You are ending agreements you never made with me. You are allowed to outgrow conversations that shrink what I'm growing. You are allowed to turn off a faucet you did not turn on. You are allowed to treat your attention as currency and your calendar as a vault. I am going to be even more precise for the next few hours. For the first 3 hours after we finish, do not speak to anyone who triggers your proving reflex. Let your nervous system taste quiet. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb and rename it Kairos Hours so your flesh remembers why. Make tea, water, nothing extreme. Open the financial app and the subscriptions page and be faithful. Cancel. Rename categories. Create one folder called Paid. Move every resolved document there so your eyes begin to believe closure is normal. Before you sleep tonight, write the 3 leaks on paper and pray the sentence I will give you. When you wake, if you wake at 3 o'clock or 4:15 or 4:44, do not doom scroll. Put your hand on your chest and repeat the covenant. And tomorrow, when manipulation tests the new valve, answer with 1 sentence and no second sentence. The second sentence is usually where you betray yourself. Let me pray you through the seal now. Hand on your chest. Slow breath. Slow, not deep. Repeat after me, steady and simple. Father, I choose order. I repent for pouring into holes. You never asked me to maintain. I break agreement with guilt-driven giving, with rescuing that replaces responsibility, with numbing that steals clarity, with access I cannot afford. I forgive those who drained me. By name I forgive them, and I bless them without reopening my door. I forgive myself for the ways I leaked. I receive your mercy as my boundary. I close the leaks in Jesus' name. I ask for discernment to recognize tests and the courage to answer with 1 sentence. I declare closure over subscriptions, over small treats that became big fog, over the unpaid roles I never accepted. My house is becoming trustworthy. My yes is clean. My no is holy. My vessel is being sealed. Amen. Feel what just shifted. That lightness is not denial. It is alignment. This is what the first minutes after release often feel like. Not rich, but clear. The enemy will try to sell you a crisis to reopen the valve. He will bait you with accusations that you are cold. He will send a quick call with a hook inside it. Stand your ground. Remember, 1 sentence, no second sentence. And when your body surges to buy something you do not need, to feel okay for 20 minutes, step outside, drink water, put your hand on your chest and breathe slow, not deep, until the wave passes. Emotional waves are weather, not instruction. I told you I would be practical. So 1 more precision. Schedule a brief, literal closing ritual before bed. Hold the paper with the 3 leaks. Draw a single line through each leak and write a date next to it. Today's date. Say, closed. Then put the paper under your pillow or at your bedside. You are teaching your nervous system that closure can be gentle and still be real. In the morning, you will feel the room inside you that panic used to occupy. That room is for door 2's instruction. Do not rush to fill it with noise. You have obeyed. You have sealed. You are ready to hear. Chosen one, if your spirit agrees, mark the doorway. Type 2 words, I release, not as performance, as covenant. I am watching over your obedience with delight, not suspicion. I am not waiting to punish you if you wobble. If you falter, return to the sentence and close the valve again. That is maturity. That is faithfulness. The vessel is being sealed. And because door 1 is honored, the oil that is already moving towards you will not spill when it arrives. You have begun well. Stay with me in the quiet. The hallway is calibrating you, and when the whisper comes, you will hear it. Chosen one, this is the quiet test. The room inside you feels larger. Your chest is not as tight. The numbers on the screen have not changed yet, but the weather in your soul has. Do not be suspicious of that peace. Do not treat it like a mirage that must be poked until it pops. Take one slow breath, slow, not deep, and notice how your shoulders lower even half an inch when you decide to trust what you just did. Heaven heard you, the release counted. The first fruit of obedience is not confetti, it is clarity. This is the in-between where many run backward. They do not feel rush or applause, so they reopen familiar valves to feel productive. They buy something small to hear a sound. They send the second paragraph to prove they are kind. They post 5 times to force a sale out of air that isn't ready. They beg an old door to answer so their fear can be quiet for an hour. They confuse noise with movement and pressure with leading. Do not do that. Your peace is a receipt before the wire hits. Clarity is the tracking number. When your house becomes trustworthy, heaven routes delivery through the address you actually are, not the disguise you used to wear. Let me teach you how to read the quiet. Peace after release feels like a clear window on a cool morning. It is not loud. It does not demand witnesses. It does not bully you into action. It sits in you like a settled yes and makes the clutter in your head line up without the whip of guilt. That feeling is not laziness. It is readiness. You closed what needed closing. Now your inner room can receive instruction without distortion. If you rush to fill that room with proving, you will drown out the whisper that carries your assignment. Expect counterfeit urges to flare right here. You will feel a push to just check in with someone who drains you because silence feels foreign. You will feel a spike to slash your price tonight so a stranger on the internet can say, "Wow, deal." You will feel the itch to overshare a sacred process on a platform that rewards urgency, not wisdom. You will want to craft a 15-slide story to explain your boundary so no one calls you difficult. You will want to send any update emails that convert your dignity into anxiety. None of that is being led. All of that is being pressured. Pressure talks fast, uses extra words, and asks you to ignore your body. Leading is calm, concise, and will fit in one sentence you can live with tomorrow. Hand on your chest. Slow breath. Slow, not deep. Ask your body the simplest question. Where is the push? If you feel it pinching your throat, burning behind your eyes, breaking in your solar plexus, that is fear dressed as faith. Heaven's urgency does not choke. It clarifies. Here are 3 discernments I want you to keep in your pocket for the next hours. 1. Urgency. From heaven is specific and kind. It will arrive as a clean instruction you can write in 1 line. Email Jordan Tuesday at 10 a.m. with 3 bullet points. Urgency from fear is muddy and loud. It multiplies options while demanding you act now to stop a feeling. 2. Urgency from heaven can survive a short wait. If it is from me, it will still feel right in an hour. Urgency from fear decays fast. If you do not do it immediately, the logic unravels and leaves you ashamed. 3. Urgency from heaven honors your boundaries. It does not require you to betray your 1-sentence rule, your rest, or your values to obey. Urgency from fear always demands a small self-betrayal as proof. So here is your practice. For the next 6 hours, adopt a no-proving policy. No second sentence, no discount you did not plan, no just circling back that is really panic in a blazer, no posts that crack open your processing for applause. If an action rises that you believe may be heaven, write it down. Give it 45 minutes. Drink water. Step outside if you can. Put your phone down on purpose. not as punishment, as signal to your nervous system that you are safe without constant feedback. If the instruction is real, it will be waiting when you return. If it was fear, the compulsion will thin out and you will be grateful you did not spend your name to buy 10 minutes of relief. You will also meet tests disguised as opportunities, a last-minute invitation that requires you to break your boundary to be seen. A request from a familiar chaos to please just this once. A client-shaped person who wants you to start tonight, with no deposit and a halo of flattery. Answer with one sentence you can live in, not available. That doesn't work for me. I begin next week with a deposit. I can send the link. Then stop. If accusation arrives, let it pass through you like weather. Your job is not to teach grown people who profit from your lack of boundaries how to respect them. Your job is to keep your vessel sealed so you can hear door 2 without their noise in your ear. Some of you feel awkward about the slowness, as if you have to apologize for not being in motion. Breathe. Slowness is not delay. It is poise. You are not missing out. You are refusing to trade your crown for crumbs. Money chased you before and tripped you because you were sprinting in circles. Now calm is your strategy. Calm is how you spot the door when it opens because your eyes are not blurred by adrenaline. You are not ignoring responsibility. You are refusing to invent assignments heaven did not give you. Pay attention to the small confirmations. Your jaw unclenches. Your forehead smooths. You open the drawer you cleaned and it does not bite you. You hear one phrase for a project and it lands sweet and heavy instead of sharp and frantic. You suddenly know which of the 10 ideas is for this week and which are for later. Your appetite normalizes. Your body asks for water. These are not small. They are calibration. The spirit of confusion is evacuating. The room that panic rented is empty. That room is not for entertainment. It is a sanctuary for instruction. I am going to be practical with your next steps. Create one page titled Instruction. Keep it within reach, bedside, desk, pocket. For the next day, do not act on everything you write. Collect the whispers. Note the times they come. You will see a pattern. Patterns are how heaven teaches you your language. Tonight, go to bed as someone who expects to be spoken to. If you wake at 3 o'clock or 4:15 or 4:44, do not scroll. Put your hand on your chest, breathe slow, and ask one question. What is the next right assignment? Write what comes. Do not grade it. Clarity first, execution second. Say this with me, simple and steady. I am clear. I will not prove. I will listen. Feel that? The ground under you just leveled. The window recognizes the one who will be led. The quiet is not empty. It is full of direction you can finally hear because you are not negotiating with leaks. Now that the leaks are sealed, door 2 can safely give you instruction without confusion. Hold your poise, chosen one. The whisper is on its way. Chosen one, the whisper has arrived. This is door 2. Take one slow breath, slow, not deep. Feel how the room you cleared is no longer echoing, it is receiving. Instruction is not a brainstorm, it is an assignment. It does not flatter your ego with noise or offer a buffet of half-formed ideas. It names the channel through which provision will move through you, not just to you. If money only comes to you, it stagnates and shames you. When it flows through you as assignment, it honors your design and multiplies peace as it provides. I am going to be precise because you do not have time for vague messages. Dr. 2 answers 3 questions in order on one page with one line each. Not a novel, a line. Write them now at the top of your instruction page and leave space under each. Question 1. What problem am I anointed to solve in this window? Not every problem you can fix, the one that ripens when you touch it. Question 2. Who is it for? Be specific enough that your spirit can see their face. Name the person, the role, the industry, the moment in their journey. Question 3. What is the next obedient step? Not the whole plan, not a 5-year rollout. The one action that opens the channel in the next 24 hours of this door. Do not argue with simplicity. Heaven speaks in steps on purpose. I give daily bread, not yearly storage, because I love you too much to let your mind become your master. If I told you the entire plan, you would feel safe and stop listening. You would begin to manage me. You would trade worship for whiteboards and call it wisdom. I want you guided, not guessing. I want you close, not clever. Bread for today keeps your ear near my mouth. You will notice I do not withhold because I am cruel. I pace revelation so that dependence becomes delight, and delight becomes precision. Let me walk you through the mechanics of these 3 lines so you do not drift. When you ask, what problem am I anointed to solve? Listen for a verb and a friction point. Calm clutter, clarify offers, prepare launches, stabilize teams, negotiate terms, design systems, translate vision, heal a stress loop, rewrite a message, steward a transition. The anointing expresses as ease under pressure and accuracy without striving. If you feel your shoulders drop when you name it, you have found your problem. If your chest tightens and you begin to argue, you are picking what flatters you, not what fits you. Who is it for? Shrinks the world into an address. Not everyone. That is fear of missing out masquerading as generosity. Name the friend of a friend that your spirit keeps circling. Name the founder between seed and Series A, the single mother re-entering the workforce, the composer who can't finish, the small church with big vision and no systems, the owner-operator drowning in admin, the brand with a clean heart and a messy message. When you can picture them, instruction has landed. Heaven roots favor along specificity. What is the next obedient step? Is often small enough to offend your ambition. That is how you know it is holy. Email one person with a clean offer. Send one portfolio update to one gatekeeper. Outline one page that translates your gift into a real deliverable. Record one piece of content that solves a single pain point for your exact person. Schedule one meeting you have avoided because fear kept asking for another week. Update one resume line with truth and clarity, not 10. 1. Anxiety prays for tidal waves. Assignment moves like a clean stream that never stops. Here is your practical protocol for the next 24 hours of this door. 1. Build a one-page offer or plan that matches your 3 lines. At the top, write the problem in 1 sentence. Below it, write 4 and name the person. Then 3 bullet points. What changes after they engage you? Not jargon. Transformation. You will have a weekly cash clarity number and a simple plan. Your team will know the top 3 priorities and who owns them. Your website copy will say what your spirit means. Then add scope, price, or terms if appropriate, start date, and 1 boundary line. Work begins with deposit. No rush projects, 1 revision round. Office hours are X to Y. Keep it honest enough to live in tomorrow. If you do not sell services, adapt it. A product outline, a grant application brief, a pitch sheet, a course skeleton. The rule is the same. Write the shape of what obedience looks like on 1 page, so your mind stops negotiating. 2. Write 1 outreach message that feels like peace when you read it aloud. Peace is your green light. Read it. If your body tightens, simplify. Remove adjectives. Delete flattery. Keep it kind, direct, and free of apology. I help who solve problem. Here is a 1 page of what that looks like. If it serves you, I can begin. Date. That is enough. No second sentence that discounts your value. No paragraph explaining your worth. Send it to 1 human, not a herd. If you feel led, a second name may rise after you send the first. Do not blast. Flow. 3. Schedule 1 meeting or 1 tangible step that puts your feet where your mouth is. Calendar an intro call. Book a portfolio review with yourself. Submit one application with a deadline. Reserve a room for a small workshop. Publish one piece of content that is a solution, not a resume. If your assignment points to traditional employment, update one line on your resume with truth and then send it to one hiring manager with a clear note. I noticed specific need. My work solves this. One page attached. Heaven honors movement in order, not motion from panic. 4. Keep your dream and journal protocol with reverence. Place the notebook by your bed. Tonight, expect to be spoken to. If you wake at 3 o'clock, 4:15 or 4:44, hand on your chest, slow breath, ask once. What is the next right assignment for named person or problem? Write what comes without grading it. In the morning, scan for repeating nouns, places, and people. Bridges, classrooms, rivers, studios, same buildings, the hallway, a body of water, a certain city street, a color that keeps arriving, one name that will not let go. Do not interpret in poetry. List the repeats in a margin called pattern. The pattern is the instruction. It will point to timing, setting, partner, platform. Heaven speaks in pictures because pictures bypass your arguments. 5. Resist the counterfeit that hunts door 2, comparison and confusion. Comparison makes you leave the person you are assigned to serve to chase applause you do not need. Confusion multiplies options to numb obedience. When you feel either one, stop, hand on your chest. One sentence counters both. I choose my assignment. Say it aloud. Then return to the 3 lines on your page. If a new idea tries to rent the room, put it on a later list. You are not throwing it away. You are protecting precision. Let me pray you into this door with clarity. Hand on your chest. Slow breath. Slow, not deep. Repeat after me. Steady. Father, I ask for precision. Give me the exact problem I am anointed to solve in this window, the exact person it is for, and the exact next obedient step. I renounce confusion. I renounce comparison. I break agreement with panic disguised as productivity. I receive daily bread, enough instruction for today, enough courage to move, enough confidence to stay quiet once I have obeyed. Tune my ear to your whisper. Make my pen ready. Let my peace be the umpire. Close every door that flatters but does not fit. Open the path where favor already waits for me. I will not manufacture. I will recognize. I will move in order. Amen. Now, one final precision for these hours. Divide them. Hours 24 to 36. Listening, writing, and shaping the one page. Crafting the single outreach. Preparing the first step. Do not rush to send while your adrenaline is hot. Let the words cool until they feel like stone you can stand on. Hours 36 to 48. Act. Send the message. Post the piece. Book the call. Submit the application. Purchase only what the assignment requires to move and nothing more. Then stop. Do not flood the world with 10 variations. Obedience is not spamming. It is a clean yes that heaven can amplify. Expect small confirmations immediately after you move. A quick reply that says, I was just thinking of this. A door you once knocked on opens without you knocking. A friend mentions the exact person you wrote down. Do not turn confirmations into campaigns. Smile. Note them. Keep your poise. Provision follows assignment, not anxiety. When you honor door 2, door 3 will not be a shock. It will be a continuation, clean, calm, without shame. If your spirit agrees and you choose to enter this door now, mark it as covenant, not performance. Type 2 words, I receive. Then return to your page, answer your 3 lines, and do the next obedient step. I am with you in the whisper and in the sending. You are not guessing in the dark. You are being guided in order. Chosen one, come closer. Take one slow breath. slow, not deep. You are standing inside a story older than your fear, and it has always moved in 3-day windows. I am going to be precise with you because you do not have time for vague messages. Heaven remakes you before it rewards you, so what comes to you will not break you. Stillness before exposure, darkness before direction. Esther and Jonah are not bedtime tales. They are blueprints for these 72 hours you are living. Esther first, a young woman with 2 names, Hadassah in the secret place, Esther in the palace, pressed by an hour that required more than beauty. She did not sprint into the throne room to demand favor between meals. She called for 3 days of stillness, no food and no drink, a full consecration that turned noise into discernment and orphan reflex into queenly poise. She told Mordecai and all her people, "Fast with me for 3 days," and only then did she dress in royalty and stand in a doorway where protocol said death and heaven said scepter. Favor did not meet her panic, it met her poise. She did not announce in a rush, she strategized in sequence. One banquet, then another. Exposure came in order. A decree shifted. Resources that had been misaligned were reassigned. And remember this, the first miracle was not the reversal of letters. It was the alignment of identity, Hadassah's heart settling fully into Esther's authority so the room she entered could not swallow her. Chosen one, stillness before exposure is not delay. It is the seal that you are the same person in the secret as you are in the room. You do not rush into rooms you are not internally ready to hold. That is how good people break under blessing, unreconciled selves colliding with weight they begged for. These 3 days are not a starvation of action. They are a feast of alignment. Esther did not change who she was. She stopped arguing with it. She wore what already fit. When the moment came, she did not overshare, underprice, or apologize for breathing. She asked with precision. That is door 2 maturing into door 3. Strategy crystallized by stillness, so provision has a place to land. Now Jonah, a prophet with a word who wanted a different assignment, boarding a ship headed the other direction because obedience felt beneath his preferences. The storm was not punishment, it was a mercy bell, and the belly of the fish was not a prison. It was the only space quiet enough for remembering. 3 days in darkness where no audience could applaud and no algorithm could distract. False motivations die in that place. Reputation maintenance, audience management, the itch to be profound instead of useful. Inside he prayed. Inside he named idols. Inside he stopped bargaining and said, "I will pay what I vowed." Direction resumed when performance died. After 3 days, he did not get air conditioning and a parade. He got vomited onto shore, headed toward the very city he had avoided. Smelling of sea and second chances, he carried a word clearer than before because silence had burned off the extra. Chosen one, darkness before direction is not me being cruel. It is me refusing to allow you to sell your soul to be visible. When I quiet the feedback, it is so you remember your assignment without negotiating with applause. Some of you have felt that belly in these hours. Low energy, fewer texts returned. The strange sense that you are wrapped in quiet you did not choose. Do not thrash. Thrashing makes you dizzy when the shore arrives. Breathe. Put your hand on your chest. Slow, slow, not deep. Ask one question. What did I vow? Write it plain. I vowed to use my gift for service, not for spectacle. I vowed to price with integrity, not with apology. I vowed to tell the truth in my work, not the trend. Keep it in front of you. When direction returns, and it is returning, you will not barter your assignment to feel safe. You keep saying you are afraid of failure. That is not the deepest fear. The shadow that has crouched in your ribs is fear of success. The fear of being seen and then expected. The fear of being trusted and then asked for more. The fear that the yes you have prayed for will expose the corners you have not yet finished sweeping. You are not afraid the room will say no. You are afraid the scepter will extend and you will have to hold it without shaking. Hear me. When I mark a window, I also mark the grace. I do not expose you to starve you of support. I expose you to align you with supply and structure. This is why I remake you first. Wealth has broken many because it arrived at an identity still leaking. Not this time. We are sealing the vessel so the oil can multiply without making a mess of your soul. Let me map this clearly to the hours you are in. After door 1, you released what leaked. The room inside you cleared. After door 2, you received instruction on one page that fits in your mouth without apology. Now hold Esther's stillness and Jonah's remembering simultaneously. Keep your poise as you approach the rooms your assignment will require. Do not babble to prove you belong. Do not discount to be liked. Do not tell a crowd what belongs to a table. If you feel an urge to post your entire process for strangers to manage your insecurity, that is not stillness. That is Haman's banquet without my timing. If a sudden darkness wraps you, an afternoon where nothing moves, or a night where sleep is shallow, treat it as the belly, not as failure. Lie still enough to hear the vow again. The next step will rise. It will be small and specific enough to honor you. Then move, not to fix the feeling, but to obey the assignment. Chosen one, take one slow breath. Slow, not deep. Hear me say this without drama. Your 72 hours are not mainly about money. They are about becoming the version of you that can steward money without losing yourself. Favor on an unaligned self feels like flood. Favor on an aligned self feels like river, banks, current, direction. Esther did not drown in favor because she had banks, fasting, counsel, strategy, restraint. Jonah did not drown in assignment because he stopped negotiating and walked where he was sent. You will not drown either. The same grace that is remaking you is the grace that will resource you. Provision will be a continuation, not a contradiction. There will be a moment very soon when exposure and direction meet. Your name lands in a room you have prayed for, or an instruction opens a gate you could not jimmy. In that moment, remember the pattern. Stillness before exposure keeps your tone clean. Darkness before direction keeps your motives clean. Say little. Say true. Say only what your assignment requires. Let other people be loud. You be accurate. The scepter will extend. The shore will appear. You will recognize both because you are not panting. I am with you in this remake. Let me put language in your mouth to unhook the old fear. Whisper it steady. I am not afraid to be seen. I am not afraid to be responsible. I do not shrink from the weight I was designed to carry. I will not negotiate with applause. I will honor the assignment as given. Amen. Feel how your breath lengthens when your mouth agrees with your future. That's alignment taking root. Now you are aligned. Now you have received instruction. Door 3 is not hustle. It is receipt. You will not chase. You will consent. You will walk in clean, calm, without shame, and collect what honors your design. Stay in order. Favor is already moving toward your address. Chosen one, take one slow breath. Slow, not deep. This is door 3. Receipt, not chase, not scramble. Consent to what has already begun moving toward you. Provision will often appear quieter than your imagination predicted. A reply that says, "Let's proceed." A calendar invite dropped into your inbox. A payment notification with your name on it. A contract draft waiting for your signature. An introduction that solves a problem you could not. An idea that finally converts because you wrote it in the clarity you earned. It will feel simple. It will feel almost obvious. Was this here the whole time? Yes. Kairos made it visible because you aligned. Chronos did not pay you back. Kairos did, with order. Door 3 requires you to receive clean. Many chosen ones sabotage here because shame still tries to sit in the chair that honor built. They over-discount in the final minute to buy likability. They delay invoicing to prove they are not about the money. They refuse help and then drown in tasks heaven already sent a person to carry. They spiritualize scarcity, wearing lack like virtue while calling it stewardship. Stop. Receipt is not greed, it is agreement. When you honor what I send, you stop leaking and start building. So listen to me with precision. Door 3 is the hour of clean yes, clean terms, clean collection. If an email says, "We're in," do not respond with an autobiography. Answer with one sentence you can live in tomorrow. Wonderful, attaching the one page and the invoice to begin. If you sell products, wonderful, order confirmed, fulfillment begins immediately. If they ask for your rate after you sent your one page, send the number that matches your assignment and the scope you named. Do not discount in the send field. Do not add 3 paragraphs of apology. Do not bury your price under adjectives. Clean numbers are how honor speaks in the marketplace. Send the invoice, same day if possible, or within 1 business day. Shame delays, stewardship documents. Subject line, invoice your name, project title, due date. Include clear terms, start date, deposit required before work begins, delivery milestones, revision policy, communication windows, late fee if that aligns with your field, and preferred payment methods that are actually easy to use. Remove the sentence that says, "No rush, take your time." Money respects the boundaries you respect. If you have feared invoicing because you confuse asking with begging, let me reframe it. The invoice is the receipt of the assignment. They are not doing you a favor. You are entering a covenant of value. Both parties honor it with clarity. Set the price you already heard when you were calm. If a small check-in is necessary, given scope X and start Y, the investment is Z. Do it with peace. If they counter and it is still aligned, you will feel it land without panic in your chest. If they counter and your body tightens and your peace leaves, bless them and stay in order. Scarcity will tell you to accept any number to feel safe for 1 week. Order will remind you that leaky agreements create expensive lessons. You are not being punished by walking away from misalignment. You are being spared. Accept help. This is part of clean receiving. If heaven sends a person to carry a piece, child care during your call, a peer who offers a template, a friend who insists on buying you the software your assignment actually needs, say, "Thank you, I receive." Do not tell a story about managing without help to feel holy. I am not grading you on isolation. I am forming you in interdependence. Provision is bigger than payments. It is time, tools, introductions, discounts that are not manipulation but mercy. Let them in. Follow up once, not as panic, as order. If you submitted the one page and heard nothing after a business day, a simple line suffices. Confirming receipt of the one page for problem. If aligned, I can begin. Date. Do not send 5 variations in an hour. Do not interpret silence as rejection. Remember, urgency from heaven is specific and kind and survives a short wait. Move in that spirit. Then release the refresh button. Your refresh thumb is not your God. Now, stewardship. Separate your accounts the moment provision lands. This is how you seal the window from devourers you can predict. If you are able, create or designate 4 simple buckets: giving, taxes/saving, debt reduction, and operations/needs. When the payment arrives, pause. Hand on your chest. Slow breath. Slow, not deep. Then move like a builder, not a shopper. Allocate first fruits/giving in the percentage your conviction leads. Do not perform. Obey. Set aside taxes immediately. If you are unsure, 25 to 30% protects you from future panic. Create a small emergency buffer, call it Peace Fund. Pay a specific debt with specificity, not vague good intentions. Fund the operations that directly serve your assignment, software, subcontractors, space, shipping, without bloat. If there is room for personal needs, designate it, then stop. The budget is not a cage. It is a riverbank. Banks make flow sustainable. Keep a record. Open a simple ledger, paper or digital, and write what came, from whom, for what, when, and where it went. Do not despise this as beneath your anointing. Accounting is memory. Memory is worship. When your mind tries to argue that nothing is happening, your ledger will tell the truth and anchor your emotions. If the amount is small, treat it like seed, not an insult. Seeds ignored never become trees. Seeds planted become shade you cannot manufacture later. Protect it. Boundary reinforcement. Do not announce prematurely. Protect the seed while it germinates. Some people do not need to know until it has roots, until the deposit clears, the contract is countersigned, and the first milestone is delivered without drama. Oversharing weakens roots. There will be a minute where your joy wants witnesses. Choose one or two covenant people who intercede, not a crowd who spectates. Let your testimony mature so when you tell it, you are not asking strangers to hold up a sprout in the wind. When you celebrate, let it be gratitude that honors God and your assignment, not a performance to manage your insecurity. Your body may be tempted to swing into shopping or scarcity when the number hits. Breathe. Calm is still your strategy. Scarcity will push you toward impulsive purchases. You label investment because adrenaline wants a toy. Recognition will guide you toward tools that make your assignment lighter and your delivery cleaner. Ask one question before you spend. Does this expense make the river clearer, or just make me feel successful for 10 minutes? If it is the latter, wait. If it is the former, proceed without apology. There will also be a whisper to be generous in a way that depletes you. Generosity without instruction is leakage in disguise. Give where I say, not where guilt screams. You are not God to your circle. You are a steward. Your yeses must be as clean as your invoices. When you do give, give first, not last. Gratitude stabilizes increase by acknowledging the source and training your heart to hold more without clutching. Let me pray you into clean receiving, hand on your chest, slow breath, slow, not deep. Repeat after me, steady. Father, I receive what you send without guilt. I break agreement with shame, apology, and self-sabotage. I honor the value you have placed in me with clean numbers, clean terms, and clean delivery. Give me wisdom to steward, when to save, when to sow, when to settle debt, when to sustain. Station protection at my gates, rebuke the devourer, make me uninteresting to chaos. Let gratitude be my rhythm so increase does not make me arrogant, and lack does not make me afraid. Guard my mouth from premature announcement. Root what you plant. Establish the work of my hands. Amen. Now, practical movement in these hours. Within the next 2 hours after a yes, send the invoice or accept the offer in writing. If a contract is in play, read it once for scope, once for terms, and once for boundaries. Adjust where needed. If it is aligned, sign. If you need language for a boundary, work begins with deposit. Communication windows are X to Y. Scope beyond this agreement will be quoted separately. Then put the first milestone on your calendar and do not wait for a feeling to begin. Begin. Create a tiny stewardship ritual for every inflow. Pause, breathe, mark the ledger, allocate the buckets, send a thank you that is professional and clean. Whisper, I honor this. Do not make the ritual elaborate, make it consistent. Consistency builds walls. Money can live behind. If you need a simple percentage map, use this as a starting shape and adjust with wisdom. Giving first, then taxes/savings, then debt reduction, then operations/needs. If you are in a salaried structure, the same applies on payday. Honor the order. Honor creates inheritance. Expect immediate confirmations that receipt is holy. An overdue invoice you forgot to chase pays without a message. A friend texts, "I felt led to bless you. Check your Cash App." A clause in a contract unexpectedly shifts in your favor. Do not chalk it up to luck. Write it down. Say, "Thank you." Keep your poise. Stop explaining. Build quietly. A final word on shame. Shame will whisper, "Who do you think you are to charge this, to accept this, to hire help?" Answer with truth, not theater. I am the one God prepared for this window. I am the answer to a problem I did not invent. I am not stealing, I am serving. Then move. The river is flowing because you stopped punching holes in your own vessel. Keep it sealed. If your spirit agrees and you choose to enter door 3 now, mark it as covenant. Type 3 words, "I am ready," then act like it. Send the invoice. Accept the offer. Follow up once. Separate the accounts. Allocate with honor. Protect the seed. Say thank you. Keep calm. You are not chasing. You are consenting to the provision your obedience unlocked. You are done leaking. You are building. Chosen one, take one slow breath. Slow, not deep. I am going to be precise with you because you do not have time for vague messages. 2 frequencies are at war inside this window. One lies to you, one leads you. I am naming them so you can choose the right one on purpose. The first is the scarcity signal. It is not only spiritual resistance, it is also a measurable state in your body that narrows your vision, speeds your breath, tightens your jaw, shortens your sentences, and makes you miss doors that are 6 inches from your hand. When the scarcity signal runs you, you see threats more than opportunities. You hear the price of everything and the value of nothing. You refresh, you compare, you rehearse worst-case headlines in your head like a news ticker. What if they don't pay? What if I mess up? What if this is too late? In that state, even favor looks like a trap because your nervous system is scanning for predators, not pathways. You will over-explain, undercharge, and numb yourself to obvious green lights. You will sit in a room where your name is being asked for and not recognize it because your body is louder than my instruction. The second is the recognition signal. This is the frequency of Kairos, the way your mind, heart, and body perceive timing, pattern, and placement when they are not hijacked by panic. When recognition is active, your breath lengthens, your shoulders drop 1 inch, your eyes soften, and your vision widens. Suddenly, the room you are in looks different without changing. You notice the email subject that was always there. You realize the text you need to send has 10 words, not a thesis. You see the repeating markers again, 3:33 on a clock, a name said by 2 unrelated people, the same question surfacing 3 times in one day, and instead of dismissing it, you understand. The hallway is lit. The door is on your right. This is not you faking calm. This is you regaining the part of your design that scans for doors instead of danger. Modern language calls it stress arousal versus recognition frequency. You were born with recognition blazing. As a child, you spotted patterns, felt timing, knew which adult was safe without a PowerPoint, and flowed to the next step without squeezing it. The world taught you to mute it: noise, shame, pace, comparison. Now in this 72-hour window, I am turning it back on. Hear me clearly. Calm is not cosmetic. Calm is a spiritual strategy. If you stay in scarcity frequency, you will not recognize Kairos, no matter how many doors I open. If you choose recognition, you will see what has been prepared, and you will stop forcing what was never yours. Remember why I kept telling you, take one slow breath. Slow, not deep. It is not aesthetics. It is a switch. Your nervous system toggles between two modes: scan for threats or scan for doors. Breath is the lever. Lengthened exhale tells your whole body, we are not in a chase, we are in a choice. A softened jaw, a dropped tongue from the roof of your mouth, and a relaxed forehead are not spa cues. They are keys that unlock perception. In that quieted state, the next step stands out like a lighthouse. This is why you thought better when you paused. This is why the number felt right when you weren't panting. This is why the message wrote itself after you sat still for 60 seconds. Let me give you a regulation protocol you can do anywhere: in a hallway, before a call, in a parked car, between sending the one page and the invoice. 1 minute, on purpose. First, breathe slow, not deep. Inhale gently through your nose. Exhale longer than you inhaled. Count the exhale in your head if you must. Not to achieve a number, but to lengthen the leaving. Do this for 60 seconds. Second, unclench your jaw. Drop your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Let your shoulders fall 1 inch and soften your hands. If you are seated, feel the chair holding you. Third, name 3 things you can control in the next hour. Speak them out soft. I can send the invoice. I can read the contract once for scope, once for terms. I can allocate what arrived into the 4 buckets. I can follow up once. Choose them small on purpose. Small moves reassert authorship. Fourth, take the next obedient step immediately after, not all the steps, the next one. Obedience is the antidote to overwhelm. You will feel the fog lift because you took back the steering wheel from panic. Here is what will shift when you do this. Scarcity will say, send 5 messages so they don't forget you. Recognition will lead you to send 1 clean follow-up and then return to your assignment. Scarcity will say, lower your number so this closes. Recognition will remind you of the scope you wrote and the peace that number carried when you were calm. Scarcity will push you to announce prematurely to harvest reassurance. Recognition will protect the root until it anchors. Scarcity will spend money to feel like money. Recognition will steward money to build something that outlasts a feeling. Do you see the war? It is not dramatic, it is daily, and these 72 hours have turned up the volume so you can finally hear the difference. Your body will try to convince you that panic means importance. It doesn't. Panic means you left the lane where doors are visible. Calm is not slowness. Calm is sight. Calm is how you walk in at the right minute and say the right sentence to the right person without a script. Calm is how you feel the tug to wait 10 minutes and then the email arrives. Calm is how a no that saves you from months of misalignment registers as relief, not rejection. Calm is how you know the difference between comfort that coddles your fear and resource that equips your assignment. This is spirituality woven with physiology. I designed them to agree. Chosen one, put your hand on your chest. 1 slow breath, slow, not deep. Whisper this with me. I choose recognition over scarcity. My breath is my switch. My body serves my assignment. I am safe to see. I am not late. The window is here. You will feel immediate confirmations when you practice this. Conversations that felt slippery will organize. You will hear the sentence under the noise. A person you kept missing in a crowded room will stand in front of you because your eyes finally widened. You will notice that the random thought, check that folder, search that name, reread that paragraph, was not random. It was a doorbell. You will waste fewer movements. You will feel less compelled to defend yourself. Your yes will be cleaner. Your no will be kinder. Chaos will lose interest because you are uninteresting to it when you are not reactive. Do not argue with this, test it. 1 minute, 3 choices, 1 action. Repeat as needed. When the pressure spikes, slow more, not less. When your thumb wants to refresh, allocate instead. When you want to purchase something shiny, ask, does this make the river clearer, or does it buy me 10 minutes of false safety? These are the micro decisions that keep you in the recognition signal long enough for harvest to reach your hands and stay. Now hear me. We will not only enter this window, we will stay inside it. That is the point of this diagnosis. I am protecting you from slipping out of kairos by re-entering panic the moment a number posts or a silence stretches. Stay with me. Breathe slow, not deep. Choose recognition. Take the next obedient step. Now we seal the window so you don't walk out of it by slipping back into panic. Chosen one, take one slow breath, slow, not deep. We are going to seal this, not with noise, with order. You have recognized the window. You have walked the hallway in sequence. Release, instruction, receipt. Now we bind the movement so it does not slip tomorrow when the room is quieter and the old texts blink. I am going to be precise with you because you do not have time for vague endings. Say this with me, steady and simple. A covenant you can live tomorrow. I recognize the window I am in. I refuse panic and I choose recognition. I cross door 1, release. I close leaks, sever draining attachments, forgive and let go. I do not return to what God retired. I cross door 2, instruction. I receive the assignment, the sentence, the next right step, and I execute without theater. I cross door 3, receipt. I say yes cleanly. I send what needs sending. I collect without shame. I allocate with honor. I keep my breath slow, not deep, and I keep my body in service to my assignment. I seal this sequence in me. Amen. I must warn you with mercy about the 3 collapse points that try to unwind what you just did. The first is returning to old people. Nostalgia will text you when the seed is tender. The enemy is not the person. The enemy is the pull. Resist the urge to reopen doors you closed in door 1 because you are bored, lonely, or hungry for validation. Your boundary is not punishment. It is irrigation. If you feel the tug, breathe. Slow, not deep, and tell the truth. I have outgrown that agreement. Bless and release again. Do not audition for rooms you were sent to leave. The second collapse point is skipping the small instruction. Door 2 often sounds like one sentence you could ignore because it is not grand. Send the 1 page, make the call, clean the copy, file the paperwork, post the offering, organize the files. If you skip the small, you stall the stream. Heaven hides acceleration inside obedience to simple steps. When you feel the temptation to wait for a feeling, remember the protocol. 1 minute, 3 choices, 1 action. Execute an inch and the path will lengthen under your feet. The third collapse point is rejecting receipt through shame. This is where you discount at the send button, delay invoicing, apologize for value, overshare to buy approval, or spend to self-soothe instead of steward. When shame whispers, "Who do you think you are?" Answer without drama, "I am the one prepared for this. I did not manufacture favor, I honored order." Then act like it. Send the invoice, accept the help, mark the ledger, allocate first fruits, protect the root. Receipt is not greed, it is agreement. Here is your 72-hour checklist to keep the seal tight. Each day, do these 5. 1 leak closed, 1 instruction executed, 1 receiving action taken, 1 journal entry, 1 minute of breath practice, 1 leak closed, end 1 leaky agreement, unsubscribe from 1 drain, cancel 1 auto pay you do not use, say 1 clean, no, delete 1 number you keep revisiting. 1 instruction executed, the smallest next right step on your assignment. Send, organize, outline, pitch, publish, prepare. 1 receiving action taken. Send 1 invoice. Accept 1 aligned offer. Follow up once, deposit once, allocate once. 1 journal entry. Capture dreams, patterns, names, numbers, and provisions. Write what came, what left, and what you noticed in your body. 1 minute of breath. slow, not deep. Lengthen the exhale. Drop your jaw. Name 3 controllables and act on 1. Repeat this rhythm and you will find yourself still inside the window while others are chasing the wind. You are not behind. You are on time. Because I do not reveal Kairos early, I reveal it when you can respond. Chronos kept a schedule. Kairos kept a secret until now. You did not miss your life. You misnamed your season. The recognition you feel is not sentimental. It is structural. It is the scaffolding upon which the next 7 years quietly hang. Do not despise how ordinary obedience looks, while extraordinary alignment forms. Builders do not need confetti to lay brick. I commission you now. Keep your eyes soft and your breath slow. Guard the order. Release first, instruction second, receipt third. When your body surges, lower it with the lever I gave you. When your phone calls your hand to scroll, touch your ledger instead. When an offer lands, receive clean. When an old comfort knocks, step back from the door. When your heart races, remember, calm is sight. You will not miss what is yours when you are not sprinting past it. If your spirit agrees, mark the covenant in public as a mercy to another chosen one who needs the same order. Like and share this so they do not miss their hallway, because no one named it in time. Not as performance, as assignment. And in the comments, seal it with 3 short lines. I release. I receive. I am ready. These are not magic words. They are your yes to the sequence that is already opening under your feet. I bless your hands to build and your gates to hold. I seal your nervous system in the recognition signal, your boundaries in honor, your accounts in stewardship, your mouth in gratitude, and your timeline in Kairos. May devourers find no hole. May helpers find their post. May numbers come when numbers are needed, and wisdom govern their flow. May your no be clean, your yes be steady, your work be excellent, and your rest be protected. I set the seal upon these 72 hours, and I anchor the sequence, release, instruction, receipt, so it does not collapse tomorrow. Take one more slow breath, slow, not deep. Now move in order.